guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Rose. So we are here with our Gothic Lapbook stroke folio again today, and I have kind of motored on a little bit and just kind of done a few bits, so I'm going to show you that first and then we'll get on to the very interesting part of the project that we're doing today. So as you can see, I have added some of the elements to the front cover. We have our little knob here. I have the frame on. The frame is going to be decorated a little bit more than this, and I have some cheesecloth in here around our framed image. Now the image is covered with acetate just to protect it from wear. It should have been fine anyway with the recess in it, but I just wanted to make sure it was doubly protected. So on the inside, this is a biggie. We have flips and flaps and pockets. Here we have some of these little slot pockets. I think there's a Tim Holtz die that cuts these and is called stitched slots, I think. So that's that. So in with those we have some ephemera. Now the ephemera has just been popped in there. It's not fully prepped or anything just yet, but there are some bits of ephemera in there, and underneath we have, oh, that's not going to work there, is it? I'll have to go down to this one. So underneath we have an image of these two beautiful Gothic ladies and a little flippy notebook. There are going to be lots of little flippy notebooks in this. Up here we have this beautiful vintage style envelope. This was bought on Wish, I think, but you can get them in places like Shein and places like that. Now I did cut this one down to size a small bit. It was a bit larger than what I wanted it, and this is magnetic. It just sticks in there. We have magnets here and a magnet here, and it is magnetized to stay closed as well. And inside I have a little piece of ephemera, and it hasn't been backed yet. I will probably back that with tea dye paper, but down here there's a little plate, and I don't know if you can really see it, but it says Memento Mori on there, just stamped into the embossing powder. So that's that. There will be another few bits and pieces of ephemera popped in there. I'm thinking about putting this here, fussy cutting and putting there. I'm not 100% decided yet, so I just have it there as a placeholder for now. So on this side we have a large pocket, oh, with quite a large tag, backed with some of my Gothic papers from my paper pack. This dress is also a piece of ephemera that comes with the paper pack. So that is that. Quite a large one. We have a little plate down here. It is embossed. I don't have anything written on it, and I quite like it just as it is. And this little metal plate, I'm not 100% sure. Oh yeah, here I have it. It's M&C Boutique 5 metal accessories. Can you see that? So that is that, and you get 5 little frames in here. I'd obviously used one previous. So that's that, and here at the side we have 3 little tuck spots with 3 pieces of ephemera inside. Here we go, and they're all backed. This flips out like so, and inside here we have the notebook that we made. This isn't the actual one I made on the video actually. This is the first one that I made, and I showed you how to make the second one. So that's the long notebook, and on the inside of this it says the premature burial. So this pops out. It is on a belly band, and it pops out like so. It's quite awkward in the space that I have with the tripod right in front of me. So we have a little belly band here to hold this in. Put that back in there. And that's where it lives. that side, and this is another flip out, an envelope, junk envelope coverage with one of my papers again. It flips over and with a seal here, and it's got another flippy notebook on the inside with some ephemera. Love that lady, she's awesome. And it's a little flippy notebook. Goes in this way so that the image shows on the front of the envelope. That's that. We'll have some collaging done back here. So that is the first side. I think I'm done with this. I do need to figure out a tie for this. It was something that I should have done prior to putting this on, but I'll figure something out to stop it flapping when I open and close the cover, you know. So I will figure something out for that. So on to what we are doing today. Now, this was an idea that I came up with to solve a problem. So I don't know how it's going to work out, and I've never done it before, so you guys are just winging it with me. So I have the second cover here, and initially what I had thought, now I do have the inside of this actually covered as well, this side of it, and I actually have both sides, but this side is going to be on the back. It's going to be kind of out on its own, so I've done it with the blues. This is another piece from my paper pack, this one, and it has two pockets down here. One is a gusseted pocket and one is just a little slip pocket at the front of that pocket. So the idea is, initially I was going to do it like so. I was going to have this glued down here and have it flip open like this, but then in my infinite wisdom I decided to put it back here so that I would be able to use it as another spot and have it flip out like this. So I went ahead and I made a kind of a another hinge here. Now I had already covered it with fabric when I went at this hinge. I'm just going to take this out of here for a second, just to kind of so that we can see what we're doing. So I had already covered it with the fabric on the front when I decided to go and make this hinge. So what I did was I just cut down through the chipboard from the inside and I scraped out the pieces. So that resulted in a nice hinge, but not a fully, it doesn't fully open back. So when I came to the point of thinking about attaching this to the main cover, I realized that just gluing this onto the main cover probably wouldn't be enough. So I had to come up with another plan. So I'm going to lace it through as well as gluing it. I'm going to do both just to try and give it some stability and to try and get it tight enough that when it is opened like this, it's not constantly pulling this off, that this won't fall off. So I'm going to lace it and glue it. So that's the plan. Let's see how well my big bite will get into the top of this for a start, because it's all going to hinge on that. Yeah, that should be totally fine. So what I need to do is I need to make the holes and set the eyelets for the lacing. And then I need to set the holes and the eyelets in the larger piece in the main cover to correspond with these for the lacing. So it's going to be fun is all I can say. Fingers crossed it works. Okay, so I'm going to speed up the video. I'm going to give you some music and you can watch me work my way through this. Okay, so that's all the holes put in. That was a bit of a struggle, as I'm sure you could see. There are some pieces of fabric still kind of around here, so I'm just going to try and trim some of those away, and then I am going to set the eyelets. Okay, so there we have our eyelets set. Now, they're not perfect, I'm aware of that. They're not even set all the way through in some cases, and I'm okay with that also, because they're just to stop the, the card kind of fraying and tearing. That's really the only reason that they're used in here. So, fingers crossed they actually match up. And I'm going to just check that now. 1 second. I'm going to put these away first because they're going to be all over the place if I don't. Should have done this before I came back. Sorry guys. Quickly. There we go. Okay. Now, let's just see. There's one hole. Do I have another one there? I do. Do I have another one there? Yes. 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 Oh, I might get a bit stuck here. Okay. Okay, so the only one I can really see an issue with is this one, and we'll just work around that, I think. So we're good to go. Now, the next thing is to figure out how to go about the gluing and lacing. So, where is my lace contact? I do have a lace chosen. If you will bear with me for just a moment. Okay, so we have this. It's a velvet kind of fabric ribbon, and it doesn't stretch a whole lot. Now it isn't very strong either, so I'm wondering if maybe I should use something else. Maybe something else with it. I don't know. I'm just going to stretch it out because it's going to get stretched anyway, and I want to know that it's just going to stay. It's actually quite strong once I do this. It doesn't feel very strong because it's a little bit of stretch that was in it, but once I stretch it out, it seems fine. Okay, so that's good. Now, so I'm going to need glue here and glue here, and they're both fabric surfaces. So I'm probably going to have to mask the rest so that it just so that it doesn't get all messy. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I shall be back to you very shortly. Okay, so I'm going to pop some glue down here. Now this is the kind of glue that needs to set up for a little while, a couple of minutes. So I'm going to apply this and just wait a few minutes before I do any more. Okay, so we have our glue set up. Let's get it in situ, hopefully. That is the plan. I'm just going to use my pokey tool to make sure I have them lined up, at least semi-lined up. That's the first one. That's the second one. Seem fairly lined up at the base here. Okay, so that is the best I'm going to be able to do with that. Now I'm going to put a weight on this for the time being. While that glue does its thing for a bit. Let's have a look at our cord. Because this has two sides, I'd like for it to show with the velvet side out. I don't know if that's going to be possible all the way through, but we'll try to make that happen. Okay guys, so it ended up that I had to go out for a little bit, so we are using the room light here. It's not the best, I know, I'm sorry, but needs must, I'm afraid, today. It is just a horrible day outside. Okay, so that has set up quite a bit, and good enough for us to work with the ribbon, I think. Out later. Okay, so I know that I need to start here at the bottom, and I'm going to use my pokey tool. Oh my lord, let's colour on that. Okay, I'm going to try and do something with that for you guys. Okay, that's better. So I have my pokey tool here, and the other side of it is blunt. It's like a quilling tool or something like that, so I'm going to use the end of that to push the lace through my eyelets, and fingers crossed it all stays together till we get it laced up. So I'm going to out, in, out, in, out, in, out. So it needs to go down through here. I want it tying at the top, so I'm going to push it down. And this is just like lacing your shoes, trainers. Oh, there we go. That's that one. and get the other end. Trying to not twist it as I'm going. Now I'm aware that you guys can't see this, and it's simply because the actually, do you know what? Let us drag you up a bit. I know I can do this. There we go. That might be slightly better. Okay, that'll make it certainly easier for me anyway. Okay, so we're going down through this hole. So I'm going to bring my two ends even here and pull them through so that it's just flat here. Awesome. Now the glue is still very tacky. I can feel it on the ends of my ribbon here, but that's okay. Now the next thing we need to do, I'm just going to fold this in, and there will be a lot of folding over and back here now, guys, I'm afraid, but that is just the nature of the job we're doing. So on the one that comes out of the left hand hole, I'm putting it into the next row up and into the right hole. I mean, this is fairly self-explanatory, but just in case there's anybody out there who's confused about the process, it is very simple. So I'm just going to pull that through and try and get it so that it's laying nice and flat on the velvet side out. And the one that's on the right is going to come up and into the left hand hole on the second row. I really hope this works. I like the idea, so I hope it works. Now, if I had thought to do this from the very start, I may have gone about it differently, but that's a lesson that we learn as we try new things and things like that. Okay, so trying to keep this one nice and straight on the back side as well. There we go. Just so that it looks pretty. As I'm going, I am snugging them, but it's when I get to the top that they'll really kind of need to be tightened up. So back to this side again, and taking the one on the right side and putting it up to the left hole on the third row. Make sure I get it nice and straight, that it's not too twisted. There we go. Bring that out, down through that hole. Now I haven't actually measured this, I just realised I never actually measured this to make sure it was long enough. But generally speaking, when you're binding a book, you would do 2.5 lengths of thread for the height of the book. Because this is crossing over and back, I would have made, if I did measure it, I would have made sure that it was 3 times, just to be on the safe side. But I'm just going to keep going and hope that it's right. It does look like there should be enough, but you never know. Down through the third hole. One, flip it over. Oh, we don't need to do that much, do we? And this seems to be a bit twisted here, but that's okay. I'll straighten it as I'm going. In through this one, yeah, I needed this to be left out. I knew there was something. In through the fourth hole, like so. And I am going to continue doing this all the way up to the very top. I will actually come back to you, I think maybe 2 holes from the top, so you can see what I'm doing again. Just because I'm not sure how much of this I actually got with the frame. I get this one in here. I'm trying, as I'm putting the lace or the ribbon, for want of a better word, into the holes, I'm trying not to pierce the fabric of it, being gently pushing it in. Okay, so that's what we're looking like so far. I hope you can understand what it is I'm actually doing. So I'm going to speed up the video for the next couple of holes, and I'll come back to you towards the end. Okay, so I'm up to the second last set of holes, the last two set of holes I should say. So you should be able to see a little more clearly. I am just taking my ribbon and crossing it over. It's coming out at the right hand side here. I'm crossing it up to the next row, to the opposite hole. So it's going into the left. Pulling it through. And the one that's coming out of the left on this row, I'm going to cross it over and put it into the right on the following row. Now you could have done this the other way around, or I could have done this the other way around as well, start at the top and work my way down, but I wanted it to tie at the top. So that's that. Over to the next side again. Again, cross it over, push it through gently. Now this is the one I thought we might have issues with, so we might have to do a little bit of fiddling around here. Figure out where the hole is first. Yeah, the hole is actually there. Okay. Hopefully there'll be enough of a space for the ribbon to be able to come through. There we go, we have it. Awesome. Just going to pull that through. And the same on the other side. Now I did also know when I started, I'm sure you saw me counting up in, out, in, out, in, out. I wanted to know where should I start with them coming out the bottom or in the bottom, so that the tie would end up on the outside at the top. So that's something you need to determine before you kind of start threading. Now, not that it would be the end of the world, you could unthread it and restart that. I mean, that's fine. Okay. So, that one comes out here. And there we have our laced off spine. It's kind of a faux spine, I guess, isn't it? So I'm just going to knock this off. Just double knot that. And I'm going to tie it in a bow. Now whether that'll stay like that or not, I'm not sure yet. I'll probably end up cutting it and things. But for now, this is what we have. That looks pretty cool. I like it. Is it functional? This is the other question. Let's see. It seems to be so far. The glue is still very tacky, so I don't want to stress it too much. But I just wanted to be able to open far enough without tearing off that things can be taken out from here. Where's my bits and bobs that I had in there? So here's my little magnetic notebook that goes on there, and I just have that piece of card. I will do something with that, and this piece of ephemera that needs backing as well. So really, all I wanted to be able to do was to reach in and take things out. There's nothing in there that will be written on at any point or anything like that. Simply because I knew it wasn't going to open back as flat as it would need to for that. But that is a nice little addition, I think. I like that. Okay. So, oh, this is what we have so far. I like it. Awesome, awesome. Now this is the sheet that's going to go down here. So it's going to look like so. It's very hard to show this all on camera because, yeah, it is quite large. But I think you get the idea. Okay guys, so that is our project for today. Done and dusted. And I'm very happy with that. Very happy. I am going to leave it under weight overnight while that glue sets up, just to give it the best possible chance of adhering as much as possible. So that's it from me. Now going forward, I'm not 100% sure that this project is going to get finished. I'm going to do my best. If there is any updates, I will come back and let you know. But if you have been keeping an eye on Facebook and Instagram and things like that, you might know that there is a huge Christmas collaboration coming up with Rach and Bella Crafts. I am one of the participants in that collaboration, and I am so excited about it. So my brain is kicking into Christmas gear already, so I need to get sorted for that and get my my tutorial made for that. So whether this will kind of get pushed to the side for the time being or not, I don't know, but we will see. Do not miss this collaboration over at Rach and Bella Crafts. It is going to be awesome. There are 34 YouTubers altogether, and some of the big names in junk journaling are taking part as well. The likes of Tracy Fox and Emily Ploughfield and a few others. So yeah, do not miss it. It starts tomorrow, the 1st of November. It's starting off with the fabulous Suzanne Hutchinson over at... oh, I can't think of the name of it now. I will link her channel below for tomorrow. Sorry, Suzanne. But yeah, it's going to be very exciting. There's going to be lots of crafting done. There's going to be lots and lots of giveaways, and Rachel herself is giving away a journal as well at the end of it. So very awesome stuff. I will also link Rachel's kit down below that she has so kindly gifted to all of us to use in the collaboration. We don't have to use it, we can. It's lovely to have the option, and it is a fabulous kit. So I'll link that below the video as well. Okay guys, so that's all the news. Very exciting stuff. All go, busy. So I'll sign off, and I will talk to you all very soon. Bye.